Good evening, morning or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this.
Hello, gentle ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ari.
And my name is Zeus, and today we have some Diablo 3.
More Diablo 3. We thought, well, Zeus finally convinced himself to buy it against his better judgment because of exams. But I'm not complaining. But we're here in the famous Whimsyshire. Or Whimsyshire? I don't know.
I say Whimsyshire, but I don't know.
I think it depends where you're from. I think
Probably.
like if you're from England, potentially it could be. Oh god. I'm dying.
Not a good way to start.
Yeah, I hate the lasers. Who's the laser maker? One of these bosses.
They were the blues. They were blue twinkle roots.
Oh god, not a fan of those. But this is the Whimsyshire level. Whimsyshire.
Yes.
Yes.
That level. So this one is very good for just getting materials. Materials like jewels and just money in general, weapons and stuff. Tends to be pretty good.
It's been a great farming level, and the best thing about it is you can do it in normal, and on normal, well, you have to do it on normal because you have to upgrade it later in Nightmare, and that's another whole feat. But when you do it on normal, the one thing that drops in this that doesn't drop in the normal game otherwise are pages of blacksmithing, pages of jewelcraft, or they drop a lot more regularly. I know I got a page of like blacksmithing earlier on when I started the game. I didn't think I was supposed to get it because I'm pretty sure they're only supposed to drop in Nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think I've got one. Maybe like Act 3, Act 4, but I don't think I got one otherwise.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not supposed to be in like the early game, so this is a good way of like being able to level your own blacksmithing and jewel crafting.
Ooh. So you look flawless emerald. So the monsters here do drop gems and stuff. I think I've even gone up to a flawless. I think, yeah.
Have you got a flawless? Yeah, flawlesses do drop. Yeah, flawlesses drop a couple. I don't think
Probably
there's been
from,
like
from
perfect.
bosses or from like the pot of golds or something, but
oh,
it does
pot of
happen.
gold, so much money, mad money.
So I'm rolling with the barbarian. I usually play mage classes, so this is a good change up, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, we had a
DD
chat
Hunter.
about this before in the Torchlight 2 one, where it was kind of like, what kind of classes do we traditionally play, and what kind of classes are we kind of moving towards? And I think that's kind of like the beauty of Diablo, and we were speaking with Burger Boy earlier about this, and because we started new characters on American servers, and that's kind of annoying because there's a whole like region issue.
Yes.
But we were saying this, like we were selecting which characters to be, and Zeus was kind of like, oh, I don't know like what to be, I don't know what to do, and Virgo was just like, it doesn't really matter what you pick because anything in essence can be like, you can have any character as any sort of role, and for example, like Shibi talked about the wizard tank, and it's just like, well,
which is normally unheard of, like a wizard tank. You normally don't hear those two things in the same sentence.
Exactly, like the traditional roles in Diablo and traditional roles in like usual like RPGs just don't exist here, and I think that came about because they removed like the stat tree and the like the tribute pools and all that. I guess how have you felt about that? Like the fact that the game is now like pretty much you're not like, there's no specialist character as such.
I think it might have been very different if I had played Diablo 2, but to be honest, when I first started playing, I sort of didn't even realize that I didn't have to put any points in anything. And then I think when someone mentioned it, I was just like, actually, yeah, I didn't have to put any points in anything. It just sort of unlock it. You unlock new skills, and then you get the runes for the skills as you sort of go along. And I think I prefer it this way, because then
the runes are pretty good distractions for everything.
Yeah.
Like when it tells you that, oh, you unlocked something new, it's like you've unlocked like a secondary skill for your skill which you already have.
And so, I don't know, with skill points, I tend to worry a lot more about what I should be putting it into, and so then I'll be going online and looking up builds and guides and stuff, whereas here it's just sort of just like, now I can experiment. I'll put whatever skills I want, whatever I have, see how they go. If it doesn't work, I'll just change it up. There's no like cost or anything to just changing your skills. There's just like a 3-second cooldown.
Yeah, cooldown for what it is, yeah. So back to the days of the Guild Wars wiki, yeah. And,
yes, Guild Wars wiki.
No, it was PVX wiki?
PVX wiki.
PVX wiki. For anybody who's played Guild Wars, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But the PVX wiki, it was like something you used to check on like a daily occasion, because you'd go to like the greatest builds that you could find, and they'd be like updating and like tried and tested methods,
Yeah.
of, like videos.
Tried and
this,
tested,
like
and other ones which weren't tested but were used in like Guild versus Guild, and so they just thought, okay, no, they must be good since they're using it.
It's I must say myself, I'm really happy that they've, I think because we've made that transition as such from like the hardcore gaming scene that we were in like Guild Wars, and me to a certain extent in World of Warcraft for a couple of months, and switching to like the casual scene, and this really does suit people that aren't necessarily like, who don't have like a ton of hours, or they don't have like, you know, the patience to deal with like, you know, being rolled against like AI over and over again. I mean, I wouldn't say, I mean, we just finished normal. Actually, these are our secondary characters. You saw my video. My video on Monday had my my primary character, which was my witch doctor, and these are we literally just finished the campaign together, like every level.
Yeah,
on,
because
normal.
I got it afterwards. Ari was already pretty far ahead, so he decided to make a new character, which is this Demon Hunter, while I made the Barbarian. So we've just finished normal mode.
And I mean, how would you gauge the difficulty of normal mode? I guess I can say from like a singles perspective playing as a witch doctor, but how did you gauge it as two people playing?
With a Barbarian, pretty easy, just because I've stacked so much into strength and vitality that, one, I have so much health that whatever hit I do take doesn't do much, and two, because I have so much strength, whatever does hit me doesn't hit me for much anyway. And so I've sort of just been able to tank ridiculously. And some of the skills, like I have like Revenge, which is my number 3 skill, will just like, as if I get hit, it has a chance to become active, and then if it's active, I do like this massive swirl and then just take out everything, and it gives me life back. Most of my weapons that I've put on have some sort of life on hit, and so as a Barbarian I found normal pretty easy. I know I then started with a Demon Hunter, and like a monk was pretty good, although I haven't got very far. Demon Hunter I found pretty annoying to start off with, just because you don't do much damage at all.
Yeah, you have minimal skills that do anything as such. I mean, the skills that I'm using now, I mean, I'm rolling around all over the place.
Yeah.
Part of that is because I tend to fire, you fire bolts because of one of the runes I've got. But apart from that, like my main skill is like my left click, my right click with the chakrams I use every so often, and like I drop a turret and my arrow storm. But my 2, 3, and 4 are basically like pretty much useless skills, and that's kind of what really frustrated me about the Demon Hunter, is that like in the sense that may have been a better option of having a skill tree, because maybe I can adapt to a different situation. Like maybe I can go like full out archery in this case, rather than having to rely on like other skills like disappearing or like vault jumping around and stuff like that. I guess
that's what I found pretty annoying with the Demon Hunter when I first started off. The first skill you get is like to be able to snare people so they can't move, and then your second one is to leap out the way, and just like, oh yeah, I don't do enough damage anyway, so now I can leap out the way.
I mean, the leap is good, and I guess if you're one of these very offensive players, then it's incredible for you, because it means that you can get in the mix of things, and then you can just jump out the way like I just did there. And it's, as I said, it's tailoring it to play every type of situation possible. But I to some extent, like just from like someone who's played RPGs quite a bit, and I know this has probably clocked in more hours on RPGs than I have.
Oh god.
As of late now. But I think that to a certain extent, I would like to see certain specialized roles, and like I was very frustrated when I played as Demon Hunter compared to the Witch Doctor. even though I kind of found the Witch Doctor like harder to like play with. That might be because I was by myself, and obviously like I was starting out, and this is the first time I'd run through it. But for us two here, we're both like crowd control classes, and I think the most like annoying thing we found is we were basically stealing each other's kills every time, and it wasn't a case of like, it wasn't a case of who got there first, things like that. It could just be like, you know, my class is traditionally, the Demon Hunter is traditionally meant to be the DPS class that takes care of most damage and all that, and so I'm supposed to be taking on like crowd control, whereas Zeus is supposed to basically like take people's aggro and make sure that they're not attacking me. Well, because Zeus has so much like stacked strength and things like that, he actually not only takes the aggro, but he manages to deal a lot more damage. So I'm left there doing these like 1,000 odd crit moves on people, and I get like one shot off and they're already dead because Zeus has been swinging for like the past like 4 seconds. So it's kind of, I don't know, it can make you feel like your character's like inadequate or like useless to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. How did you find playing with two people? Because obviously this is the first time we've played like this game through together. So how did you find like playing with two people with that?
Very fun. I think that because as there's more people, the game knows that, and then will buff up enemies. And I thought it was pretty good actually. I enjoy it. I enjoy games more when I play with people. I think Jerma was saying this too in his latest friendship video, that he finds it a lot more fun if he's just playing with someone, even if it's not actually playing with them, as long as he's in contact with someone, like if he's just in Skype talking to someone while he's playing. Even if you're playing like 2 different games, it's still a lot more enjoyable. And I think
we're in Skype or we're in like TeamSpeak, like daily. So I mean, or not just with each other but with other people, and it is, I mean, social gaming I think is just something that's like comes about, like I think when you get older you just tend to like game more socially, and it's kind of like you game more for fun than like credibility, if that makes sense. I mean, not there's anything wrong with credibility. I mean, obviously, like MLG players get paid God knows how much. Like, you know, they get good money. We've all heard from Flash.
The insane StarCraft 2 player. I think with Diablo itself, I find it more of a chore to play by myself, whereas I know every time I'm free, I'll message Orange like, "You want to play some Diablo?"
We'll play some
like,
Diablo.
Yeah. Like 5 hours later, it was like, "Crap, we played too much."
4 a.m. Diablo sessions. Oh yeah. I don't mind playing by myself. It's not like I mean, it's interesting to see how you stack by yourself as well as a character. I think it's important to take stock of like how much damage you do on your own, how you'd be able to deal in single situations. And I mean, sometimes there are characters that like, I mean, I'm playing the wizard for example, and for me, I'm trying to test out like the wizard tank idea, and I think for that sort of tried and testing, it's probably best to like be on your own, and just find out exactly like what you can and cannot do with that. But have we finished?
I think so.
Wow. Okay, we finished the level.
So yeah, that is the Whimsishire run.
If you'd like to see more Diablo, just leave comments, leave messages, and as I said, we worked this out. I think I've clocked in about 45 hours into Diablo in a week.
Yeah, I think I've clocked in like 30 now.
And Zeus is on 30. So we play this regularly. So we would love to put more up if you guys are interested. Still
really annoyed about the region thing though.
Oh yeah. We'll have to get over that. I mean, we may be able to get Burger in for one of these if we're doing some low level.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But we'll see what we can do, but for sure. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is Ari, over and out.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I've been Zeus. I shall see you all in the next one.